I don't like how he does his Moxie Media. He's ruining the whole deal. Blah 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 blah. And then talk about somebody else. It's like, well, for one, I don't have a dog in that fight.
Right.
Okay. So whatever you have a beef with, you need to keep it at that and keep it a personal. Don't social media, because all that does is that takes away from people that do like our tracks or whatever the case is, and then think, oh, well, behind the scenes drama. Let the drama. I mean, allow the drama to be. But you know what?
Don't get involved.
Do it in a manner of
professional.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't sit there and bash a track, talk about, well, I'm not coming back, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to sit there and I'm going to talk a bunch of smack about this person. But you have no dog in that fight.
Right. And
Shut
like
it
you said,
down.
you and I, in the position that we're in, we're there to call the races. We're there to make it fun for the fans, give them experience. And my personal opinion doesn't matter. However, and I'm not and again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm simply saying in that position, given what I saw,
your personal opinion,
my personal opinion on what happened in that situation, I wouldn't have penalized that 74 car just in the manner of the way that whole thing unfolded. That being said, with the 74 sent to the back just past the halfway point, okay,
see,
showtime. Right? I think Dan Dybel had a little bit of something to prove, you
think?
Man, oh man, did he come from the back of the pack and work his way all the way back up to 4th spot.
Are you kidding? Because he was a man on a mission with a pissed-off attitude.
He was a man on a mission with something. I'll tell you right now, dude was driving. I mean, he drove that 74 car harder than I'd ever seen him drive that car at any time during the season.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I need to give credit where credit is due in this race. This driver drove a race, did what he had to do. Kept the car straight, kept it out of trouble, smooth. The car was good. The forward bite in it was good. The setup. I mean, these guys, and we've talked about them. We've talked about how good they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And back-to-back wins for Brian Winkler in the 88 car.
See? It pays to do your homework.
Well, and then they've been doing it. They found something a couple weeks ago, started dialing on it, started working on it, started, not going too far with those adjustments.
That's the key right there, is not to sit there and have...
You can throw 5 changes at a race car, and that's fine.
Which one worked?
Exactly. Which one? So these guys kind of figured something out, and they've been... and he every time I see Brian in the pit, he's got that smile like, we're getting better. We got something. So 2 wins in a row. 2 wins in a row for the Winkler, and right behind him, by less than half a second, Brian Thompson.
Really?
Another driver we talked quite a bit about. Now, in a borrowed car.
That's right, yeah, because he had a little incident.
No, it's been a borrowed car for 3rd. Was Steve Moore.
Steve Moore? What?
Steve Moore. Now listen, this is cool.
What?
This is a cool story. Steve Moore borrows his old car from Dave Miller, who said he's been having a little struggle figuring out the setup, a little bit of a push, this, that, and everything. Steve says, why don't you let me borrow that car for them Twin 50s? Dave's like, do it. Take it. Steve gets in it and goes out and finishes 3rd. Now, I was there for a conversation.
Fix the push.
Yeah, I was there for a conversation up at the wall and on the front stretch, and there was some coaching going on. Steve and his setup. He's giving some feedback to Miller. We'll see what Dave does the rest of the season when he gets back in the 55. But man, that car was good. Okay,
yeah,
it was good.
Well, see, that's another one too. Is that Steve Moore is good at what he does. He's focused at what he does.
Steve will tell you he's not real good with setup. Steve will tell you, I don't understand shock. I'm going to tell you right now, it's BS.
Okay. Right?
I've worked on Steve's cars. I worked on it when he was running the crate series, and he won that championship. And Steve has got a real good understanding of what's going on underneath him with what that race car is doing. So that'll be good feedback for Dave Miller in that 55 car. Fourth place was Dan Dybel. We talked about him, drove back up to 4th spot. And ran out the top 5 in the first main event was Randy Barley. So you've got
good
all 3 guys in the mix for the championship.
In the top 5.
1st, 2nd, and 5th.
There you go.
That's the Super Sport division right now. Now, 6th on back was James Slover, Mike Betker, Jerry Casey, Steve Fuller, Robert Mercer, B.J. Donofrio, Brian Brown, Clay Debin, Drew Dybel, Clyde Rood, and Chris Mott. Mott, very bad night for the 16 car. Blew his engine on lap 1.
That's kind of like Miller. But, I mean, it wasn't lap 1. It was 10 laps to go. But blew the head gasket.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about that. It's a brand new motor from his engine builder. Brand new. Just put it in. Everything else. Got this thing running. And blew the head gasket out of the back of the motor. Have you imagine that? Have you seen that? Blew the head gasket out of the back of the motor.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're going to move into Super Sport main event.
Now, this is another thing that I heard. I haven't heard anything from you yet, but I mean, I've heard that there is more, that this whole Super Sport night was drama filled.
In a sense, yes. In a sense, and again, it's your perspective. What did you see? How did you see it? You know, when Joel was here, you know, your perspective from the turn 3, you know, pit stands versus Extreme Fire and Rescue versus Jeremy Means in the flag stand and us in the Moxie Towers looking down.
4 different points of view, four different same incident, 4 different points of view.
Right. What did you see? How did you see it? Okay. So in this one, we started with the complete invert. Okay. Which means
fast
the fast guys at the back.
Start at the back.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking racing.
Now we're good. Okay. I got you.
Now, in this one, we saw. Okay, so let's go back to main event number 1. 6 cars. 6 cars finished on the lead lap in main event number 1.
Those are all the fast guys.
Yeah, if you want to call them fast. I'd say there was a lot of fast guys that were still not on the lead lap. I mean, Donofrio was running well up until he had an incident. Jerry Casey was a lap down. Mike Betker was a lap down.
Well, that's a name that's fast, though.
And Betker led for a while. You know, he was fast. I mean,
just something happened.
It's just one of those deals. You know, it's one of those racing things. It's nothing bad happened. They didn't put it all together and finish up front. You know, it's still not a bad run.
Right.
You know, so let's talk about the second one because this to me was the most exciting race. I think of the 2.
Okay.
Because the fast guys were coming from the back.
Okay.
Now, that being said, as the cars move through the pack from the fast guys, we're going to talk about the names. Let's talk about the names that moved up. Let's talk about Randy Barley and Steve Moore in that 55 car, and Brian Thompson and Dan Dybel and Brian Winkler. Again, we're talking about the same guys in the second 50. Okay. In dominating fashion.
Can you do the quotes again? The air quotes?
This one was, at one point, a done deal. Over. Nobody had, and I mean nobody, had anything for that 44T of Brian Thompson.
Okay, whoa.
After that, all that.
Whoa. So we're talking teammates of who is leading
in a sense.
the first 50.
Yeah. In a sense. I don't know if I'd call them teammates. I'd call them about as close to teammates as you can be without being teammates. Okay. Gone. Got to the front, took off, and started lapping cars, and I'm telling you.
Really?
No mercy. This is what we call badass fast. Okay?
Okay.
Moving through the field, picking off cars, lapping guys. There were guys, okay, There were guys that were 2 laps down in this one to the leader. Okay?
2 laps down. How many laps were we? 50 laps. How many laps were we into it when they were already 2 laps down?
I don't know. I can't answer that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Flying through traffic. Now this is where the controversy really starts because listen to when I say this. Because we've talked about some fast names. Again, Barley, Moore, Thompson, Winkler, Dybel. Okay.
Okay.
Remember all those names because they're moving, they're shaking, they're doing their thing. Brian Thompson in heat race number 2 put on
A clinic.
Absolutely. Took the word out of my mouth. A clinic. Gone. I mean, clearly, hands down, had this deal won.
Okay. Write the check.
Yeah. Write it. Lap 47, things change. Okay? This is how dominating Thompson was up to lap 47.
So the ink wasn't even dry on the check yet.
No.
Oh.
47 laps in. And again, I told you how fast he was.
Okay.
This is how fast he was. Lap 47, he starts to put a move to lap the third place car. That third place car is Brian Winkler, the winner of the first 50 lapper.
Hold on. 43 more laps to go in a 50. He's lapping the third place guy?
Indeed. Now.
Wow.
Now.
The winner of the first 50.
Yes.
What? Did some... Okay.
Those guys are... No, Winkler's flying.
So let me get this straight.
Barley's flying. Steve Moore is flying. But you got to remember, at this point, there's only 3 cars in the lead lap.
So from the first 50 to the second 50, how many races in between, and what were the track conditions different?
The first feature of the night, okay?
Did it start at the very, very beginning?
The first feature of the night was the Super Sports.
Okay.
Then we went Hornets. Then we went straight stocks.
So you guys did the same thing like what we did.
Right. And then the Super Sports ran the last feature.
Okay.
In that time, the track, there was no water put down. The track was dry. I mean, it was dry. Okay.
Right.
So you had to be a driver. Okay. The Swartz cars on dry slick on the bottom.
Or bad fast.
Thompson and Dybel were just
stupid fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's only 3 cars on the lead lap.
Leaders passing the third guy.
At the time of the drama, round 2. Okay. Now we'll go.
Am I going to have an opinion on this?
I'd like to hear your opinion.
Okay.
And again, I know opinions are opinions, and it may vary. It may be different than mine or anybody else that I talk to.
Okay.
Okay. So, with 47 laps in, Thompson, and this is what I saw. Let me tell you what I saw. I'll tell you something else after that. Okay.
Okay.
Here's what I saw. Thompson catches Winkler. Okay, who is fast. Winkler, him and Dybel were the only other 2 cars in the lead lap. Okay, Thompson catches Winkler. Gets underneath him in 1 and 2. Shows a little bit of color. Winkler's there, coming off a victory. Knows Thompson is leading. You can see the board. He knows who's leading this race. And with a driver that's as good as Brian Winkler, who's a former champion, who is a respected driver, Thompson did not expect him to just give the spot to him.
Well, of course not. You're battling
You wouldn't. I wouldn't. Dale Earnhardt wouldn't.
Yeah,
Sammy Swindell. Anybody else.
Yeah.
Anybody. I don't care
I'm
who
going
it
to try
is.
to keep my lead lap.
Right. Okay, so they go side by side or, close to through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch. Okay, now this is where...
Now, was he given the move over flag?
No, it wasn't that close.
Okay.
He caught him just about the flag stand.
Okay.
So, to Jeremy's credit, he didn't have that
that ability yet to show the move over flag.
right.
Okay.
And it wasn't necessary.
Okay.
Yeah,
because still battling for that lead lap. Yeah.
Right. So down the backstretch, Thompson is there, and Winkler knows it, and Winkler, he's giving him room. Lap traffic into turn 3. This is what spurred this whole thing, and this is where it kind of changes all the dynamics.
Okay. Winkler's on the high side.
Winkler's running just out of the low groove.
Okay.
Where Thompson has been fantastic on the bottom, rolling that car, the left front up onto the berm like you do with them, the Swartz cars. You load that right rear tire, put the traction down. We've seen Russ do it, and anybody else has been really, really good on the bottom in a Swartz. It gets it figured out. They're fantastic cars on the bottom.
Right.
And it was no different that night. So into turn 3, lap traffic, a group of lap traffic cars. Okay. That wasn't one car. So this is where the perspective of what you saw changes your opinion on this situation. A couple of cars up high, one car ahead of them in the middle groove. As they enter turn 3, Thompson's underneath him. Winkler's right there on the outside of him. Lap traffic. Winkler